And the siren will blur, the plane will fly over, and the circle, ladies and gentlemen, relatively central. So for many of these teams, if you can win your landing, you understand the rotation that you need to make. But of course, these drops are hot, and immediately we see the kill feed start to fly. Kills coming in from Exos in the circle suffer. They do find a couple kills of their own, but they need to avoid that late fall here for their third player. Bray will just about slip off into the background. On the hunt though, Exo, they're not going to let him breathe for long.
I like it, Hamoud, gonna be the tip of the spear, flies on forward. Penguin, he's good enough to be able to bring down Bray. It's just not quick enough though. The last two members of Inner Circle are here. It's Obs, he gets tagged on up. He actually almost gets knocked on the fly in. Just barely hanging on, and it's gonna be enough for Teeny also to drop on through before Exo Esports. They see these two members of the Australians fly on in. They smell blood in the water. They know that Inner Circle is right on the cusp here. And this would be a huge team to take off the map early.
One thing I will give it to Inner Circle though is quite often they recover well from these positions. They do a great job of setting themselves up in places where they're difficult to be brought down. That being said, Orbs gets knocked. Teeny's trying to slip away into the back here, find some sort of loot. He's still rocking around with a pistol here. And God bless, you open up 2 crates, 3 crates. You're not really finding what you want. And ladies and gentlemen, we've all been there before. It's a horrible position to be in for Teeny, and he will be cut down. Down goes Bray as well, so Orbs now floating back in. He's going to have to abandon this. Joining the party though is going to be VKA, the Frenchman, who also sit outside that top 7. They're rolling up towards this stronghold, fight a little bit. And actually, they're kind of caught between 2 minds. Move on over then. 5 Fears will be at Chemical. Contested for a moment by Gentlemates. It was a little bit of a back and forth, and Big Man, well, he doesn't return anything except for getting a sniper bullet to the chest.
Yeah, Gentlemates, for the time being, it looks like they've loosely been bullied out of Chemical for the moment, but you're probably not even worried about it as well. Everywhere from concrete over to bioweapons is absolutely free for the French. So, yeah, it's a little bit of c'est la vie. Go ahead, back on up to your POI. Don't we worry too much about it. As we continue to see a little bit of this fight down here towards headquarters.
Hello? What the hell?
It's brewing as well. Goodbye, 60 Hertz. He'll get found, as does Vale. Rock Esports, they're going to go ahead, surge out of prison, maybe clean this up a little bit. Rated, thanking the stars for a moment that he's basically gifted 2 free kills right at his feet. I love that AG Global has been able to get back on into the mix here. It seems like maybe this flex down on into Grandma's is really working for them. I love to see them continue that, because obviously where they're sitting right now, it's looking pretty good, but they are on that bubble, so they have to continue to have good games for the time being.
Do indeed. Wars will crack Showstopper over the top here. Got to be wary of the counter player in tower. Not really needing to do too much. On the opposite side of things, Exo will find purchase into Kadzu. Vidak going to be backed into a corner here. Does have the stun. Going to try and play up off the back of it, and unfortunately there's 2 bodies there. Will be cut down. Penguin going to get aggressive. That little bit of a bait and switch coming on through. This team continuing to look better and better as the day's gone on. Exo Esports enjoying this stronghold landing. It's all good.
Yeah.
For now, if you get yourself through to tomorrow, contest the Falcons, gentlemen, we'll see just what you're made of. That being said, Inner Circle are back for this fight. 2 players rolling up, but we're going to go over to Control, 100 Thieves, and Movistar Koi. Tale as old as time, and it continues.
One team currently sitting in the money, the other looking from the bottom up, and it seems like already for 100 Thieves, it looks like maybe another contest win. Already feeling pretty solid about just holding this on down. They got the zone in the last game, which led to a very solid amount of points on the board for them. I don't know if they'll have the same luxury here in map number 7 as we pull up that mini-map and get a little bit of a look at just where some of our players are playing. And I'm looking at here, Enigma, I'm looking down towards that factory boat side and up towards factory, and there's a lot of space on this southern side of the map. And for Leviathan, a team that has really pulled away in points, they don't got to get active. They don't really have to do much. They can just continue to sit, wait, hold on through, let teams like Inner Circle try and find those points.
Yeah, very important that Inner Circle can continue to chip away those points. We've got to look at the leaderboard there. They were coming into this just 4 points, not even that, behind EVOS. I will say, by the way, we lost 5 years through that. Our first team eliminated from this map on the desperately needed points, and they'll have to put everything into the final drop of the day. Gabe Blast, considering how to squeeze up here. 4 kills already on the board for Gabe. 100 Thieves have found themselves inside, but they're going to want to make this more comfortable.
Like this.
Lovely bit of movement there, lovely bit of parkour. Woo! It will find Ancient. Blast also finds net odds as well, so 2 in the feed. Confirmation on the Ancient kill. Gabe-kun going to try and get aggressive here. Zakar's going to try and hold the top, but does the pole read the flank? Hell no, he doesn't. Gabe-kun will absolutely batter him. Patsuka will keep Fnatic in the fight from the bow, but it's another blender for the Europeans.
Listen, I mean, 100 Thieves, if you can get out one of these control contest teams here from the LCQ, you're going to be feeling very good about tomorrow. So a huge win from them. And Hamoud, he's able to find Bray on the hop over of the wall, and is a nice little bit of a cleanup. For the young man, Bray, it feels like he is always the last one alive from that team, and he is just never in a position to get help from his squad. Because we can see on our minimap right there, Teeny, he's kind of down there with VKA as well, and I'm looking for where Bray is about to be able to come back on in, where Ob's going to try and get his feet underneath him. For Rodstar, well, it's about business as usual, as he is just looking to hold down the lighthouse and just throw shots downrange.
Yeah, it's one of those tactics. We'd see a man like Robstar who can shoot up there with some of the best of them, being sat in that tower, but he's made it his home for many years. Once cast over him in a tournament in Amsterdam, weirdly enough, years and years ago, and he very much so locked that down and led his team to success. Can you get yourself through to the LCQ here? Vidati's got lots of company here. They're going to push. It's going to be one. Can you do the second? The answer is no. Leviathan do just enough and just about in order to send you packing if you are the French. He lived long enough to get his teammates back into the fight, but now Leviathan, they're squaring up against Inner Circle potentially.
I almost feel like he could have just tried to actually play for the 2v1, right? He goes for the full there, and it's like if you just actually side up with that LC10, you very easily could have split that into a very quick amount of 1v1s. Maybe get a nice little clip that you could post for the timeline, but at least you get one on the exit for Leviathan. They're going to go ahead. They're going to gain control of this building, and they're just kind of poking their head up, finding some kills, going ahead, resetting the fight as they start to move on over.
Oh, hello.
Of course, it's Big Green. Some shots go on out to EXO Esports onto the other side. Hamoud, Penguin, they're not liking this too much. They don't want to get too aggro, but they fly on forward. Lays cuts down one. He's taken on up, but the trades are there. But Decky, he's found out. Both Lays and Decky over here in Big Green, taken on out. Well, you're not really worried too much if you are Leviathan, because, well, where's your last player? Down on the boat.
I got to say, by the way, huge flowers over to Bray. This is the 18-year-old who's come into this tournament. That man has not got a hair on his chinny chin chin, in the words of Chris Tunn, but he has got incredible composure, holds his time there, stays alive, and then activates to find the third-party kills. Vision going to start rolling on forward for this Rock Esports roster, looking over the shoreline. He's got Gabe-kun and Patsuka down beneath him, and a little bit overextensive. Going to burn through a lot of plates on this rotation in. Will have backup in the name of one of his teammates. However, Gabe and Patsuka, he wants those kills. He wants to get involved in that fight, but backing off for now, worried about giving up his life. As this circle starts to squeeze everyone off towards this headquarters side, we've lost a couple of teams in the process here. And well, for EVOS, this is good news because they held just inside that top 7 coming into this. And it's some of their biggest rivals chasing them that have fallen.
Yeah, Scumming only currently on 2 right now. We'd love to see that come up the board, just a small amount. And you can see, I like this. Get back on over with the team if you can. They all take a little bit of damage. Moving on over, Showstopper. Gonna go ahead, try and back them on down. You got one player up in the lighthouse, and well, your 2 are across at G2. So maybe we'll hold down this one for now. And for Showstopper, well, he'll let AGL just go ahead, hang out at that building, because he turns the sights on down towards factory roof. Is able to clean one up. And looking at the kill feed, and look who's starting to move their way on into factory as well. I'm starting to see Gentlemates with some movement over on that side of the map as well. So we'll keep an eye just across a couple of these different areas, because the zone's still very, very central for the time being. And a squad like AGAL, who needs to stay alive, who needs to have these points, oh, they might be sitting pretty.
Yeah, they might indeed. The good news for them, continue on this bit of form that they've found through these last couple of games. NKO trying to put Blaze from the sky. The shots with the Cypher aren't bad. Will bully Lays into a position where, well, he doesn't live for much longer, unfortunately. Stripped away by Vision. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what the confirmation is there. Codcaster has been lying to us a little bit through this tournament, so I won't trust it, but either way, you stay alive if you are the Gentlemates. Decky going to be trying to keep Leviathan in the fight. Just got to live for a couple more moments. Over to EXO. They're squeezing up. They've been hunting this French squad through living quarters for some time. Not done yet, but Fnatic are here to play as well.
I mean, this is just looking like a polka dot on our mini-map right now. So many teams come on over here. Fnatic going to be one of them to get dropped into the feed. Where's the last one? It's Zakar. He's alive on the other side, but still getting pushed by Leviathan on the other building. Can he manage to stay alive long enough to to get the squad back on in, trying to play through the bedroom. We'll be able to back down some of those members. I'm going to be keeping an eye on our minimap to watch a couple of more of those 6 bubbles come back on through, because for Zakar, it's all about staying alive for this Fnatic roster. Inner Circle, Obs and Teeny, they're still alive here, Enigma. And look, they're not too far away from Bray. They might be able to kind of cut their way through some of these teams, join back up with the teammate, and finally fully play as 3 for maybe the first time in this map.
Honestly, their ability to stay alive could be unmatched. If they could actually get off to a solid start and keep 3 players alive, this squad would be terrifying, consistently, just fighting their way across this map as a 2. We get a big pan-wide shot here of living quarters, 4 different teams in the vicinity. One of them could be Movistar Koi, and by God, do they need points. Came into this one 23 off the cut, and we know the EVOS have points, so they've got to find even more than that. It's got to be a banger. Zakar tucks himself off into a bathroom, hoping to not be found, purely playing for multiplier at this point. It's not been a good day so far for Fnatic. But AG Global, we've spoken about it, they've started to find their footing finally in this tournament. I'm not sure if it's the ball's buff from Scumming, but whatever it is, they're making things happen here, climbing that leaderboard.
Hey, we heard Rated have a lot of to say on the timeline about what they were going to try and do here today. And it seems like maybe things are starting to click just at the right time, peaking as we get ready to go to finals tomorrow. Hey, that's a great time to start doing it. Zakar, last one alive, tries to make a little bit of a play, gets cut on down, will at least be able to secure top 10 as a solo. So you get a little bit of points, a little bit of multiplier on the board, but it's not enough for what that team needs out of the cut by a decent margin for the time being. For VKA, they're in a similar situation, but things are going a little bit better for them at this time. Aizen currently sitting on 4, just trying to play alongside this bottom. Penguin and Notrius on the other side from XO Esports. Just trying to figure out how do we play out of green, because here's the thing, Enigma, we have a lot of squads playing around this area, and guess what? They all have to move, because Zone, it's going to pull us up towards headquarters. You got to win these fights, you have to make them fast.
You do indeed. Vidari's just going to hold the line, but he's got to worry about this rotation as well. As you step out, everybody above is going to cut you down. VK will fall. One of those goes the way of Mobstar Koi at least. The other potentially going the way of the English. And you've got Leviathan still in this fight. Can you find the kills? Lays, no, will be cut down. Netos finds yet another, but then we also find Movistar Koi out of here. And in the blink of an eye, 11 becomes 5. Showstopper has over the top. Inner Circle are going to be bullied down below, and so many different players scrambling beneath.
Well, one thing to note in that, Movistar Koi, take it down early. Guess who's still here in the top 5? It's Skullface from 100 Thieves. I was worried if we came into this game and they get cut down on early, could this be an opportunity for someone to come from behind, potentially Movistar Koi, and get back into the mix? But Skull does a great job staying alive. Inner Circle, they are still here. They played down towards that buy station. They're able to get the teammate back on in. Bray hits a nice little bit of a wrap. We'll be able to find Skullface. You got to be able to try and clear up your way through this mountain. Skull gets the self-revive. Armor crack is there. I got a little bit antsy. He was about to maybe do something special. The Australians pushing from beneath. You have AG Global still alive and a number of other squads, but this zone is starting to pull towards prison.
Mob gets found rotating up by Robstar. Rated will find Wars as well, tucked into the corner. Rock Esports an opportunity to go top here, by the way. They've lasted far longer than Gentlemates managed. Bray somehow is still alive. Inner Circle going to be a part of this fight. You're now looking over at AG Global. They have a full 3 here. 2 from Rock Esports and 2 from EVOS scrambling this out. Huge fights. 3 of these teams are right on the bubble.
Bray, he's trying to take this fight to 1 shots down, and Bray will be able to find it. Puts it in the top 3. Gets found out yet again. It's Vision from below. He's going to be able to cut down 1. Scummin is there, but Nate Dogg, Rated. They have the high ground. They have the roof. This is just all about, can they manage to find Vision?
Vision's going to slip down below. Nate Dogg and Rated patrol the rooftop. You can see what everyone's trying to do here. Locate something that will give them an advantage in the final fight. Vision will be challenged. Of course, it's going to be both Rated and Nate Dogg, who swing wide, and AG Global, who have started to find their form through these LC cubes, will take away a map that they desperately needed. They go into that map just inside the cut. I can tell you, as we got live updates on the scoreboard through that map, they fell outside the top 7. That will surely lift them back in there. My question becomes, of course, how many kills did you get? Did you take advantage of that 1.6 multiplier enough to give yourself breathing room